Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. Well, it's not really an episode, but hey, how's it going, everyone? Happy New Year to you all. Right now it's New Year's Eve. Uh, Probably tell because of this hat I'm wearing. But I'm going to be talking again. This is another Inside My Mind segment. Today I decided to talk about, actually, since we're talking about like New Year's and stuff. I'm gonna talk about like the past decade, sort of, as far as like the geek community, as it were, as a whole. I want to say primarily looking at like I guess, which is something that occurred to me about a few weeks ago, how there are so many superhero movies that have been coming out during this past decade, and so like it's crazy. I mean, we've got so many movies coming out. We have entire story arcs. We have like the Marvel universe, cinematic universe. How each hero or group has their own separate storylines, but they come all together for like the Avengers and stuff. And you know, that's great. And now we have the Superman new reboot going aside, starting with the Justice League movies. We and this is sort of just I guess TV, but we have Agents of Shield, Gotham, Daredevil, Jessica Jones. That's crazy that now we have all this type of uh, hero TV shows and movies, and that just it's like wow. I mean, growing up like as a kid, I never would have guessed that we would have had this much stuff going on. Um, I mean, yeah, we had TV shows. We had Batman the animated series, Superman the animated series, Spider-Man the animated series, Fantastic Four the animated series, so on and so forth. But I mean, we did have movies too, like the original four Batman films, uh, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, and there were some other movies. I think Spawn had a movie, and of course we had the '60s Batman series. But you can't really take those too serious because they're not supposed to be taken seriously and stuff. But I mean, look at it. This is like great time to be a geek and stuff. And there's merchandising everywhere. Everyone's like companies are getting in on this and everything. Um, I mean, you can see this stuff everywhere. There are T-shirts. I mean, of course, there were probably like T-shirts and stuff back, like pre pre early thousands, '90s and stuff. But the point is, you can just like see this everywhere, and like everyone's getting in on this stuff, and that can be a great thing, but there can be there's a bad side to it too. There's a downside to that, and let me explain that in a moment by going to Star Wars. Now, Star Wars, that's a popular film series. It is a popular film series, I should say. Um, and I love Star Wars. Well, it's a bit funny how I got into Star Wars because my parents were this was I think shortly after episode 1 was on VHS, and they were borrowing it. My father was borrowing it from a coworker of his, and that was the first Star Wars that actually saw. uh, and I didn't want to watch for some reason. I mean, even though my parents were sitting there watching and playing with my sisters, we were having dinner and stuff, I didn't want to watch it for some reason. I don't know why, but I just did not want to watch it. I just didn't. Although, I guess maybe halfway through the movie, I got into it, and by the time we actually reached the end, I mean, I don't remember saying this, but my parents said that I wanted to know what happened next, and so then My parents actually had the original trilogy on VHS. This was, I think, this is definitely before the special editions and stuff. Uh, but we had that, and so then that's how I watched those. And then I watched the next episode two, episode three, and so on and so forth. And I love Star Wars from that point on, and I became a fan of Star Wars. I've read some of the books, I've read the comic books, I've seen the animated. I'm talking about before the 3D CGI Clone Wars, the horrible version of Clone Wars, but the 2D animated Clone Wars. They were on Cartoon Network about 5 to 6 minutes, and then eventually I think became up to 12 to 15 minutes long. Those were awesome to me. I enjoyed watching those on Friday nights. Um, but yeah, and so Star Wars is popular, and pretty much everyone knows what Star Wars is, even if you and then you most likely have seen Star Wars. Um, and the as far as merchandising goes, when Episode 3 came out, it was like covered everywhere, and it was everywhere pretty much. Well, it was very popular. Now, fast forward to 2015, it is literally everywhere, and I hate it. I mean, everywhere. Everyone's getting in on Star Wars. Everyone wants a piece of Star Wars. And I'll be honest, when I first heard about Episode 7, I did not want to see it because I really did not feel like we really should be getting an Episode 7. I feel like Episode 6 brought it to a close. Sure, we have the books that continue past 6, but that's okay that they passed on 6. Because they can be great, they're not technically canon in a sense, and I'm fine with knowing that even though they are there and I can enjoy them, I know that it won't truly affect what happens, and but still, 7 I did not want to see, and I was like, really. And now they even have plans to, as I've heard, let Star Wars go on indefinitely, and they even have a Han Solo prequel, which I do not like either. But still, I'm going to go see Star Wars Episode 7, and from what I've heard, it's good. Well, great, I should say. But yeah, but everyone's been trying to get something out of this. Everyone knows that it's going to be a major cash cow because you see it everywhere for like Walmart, Target, car commercials. You hear it on the radio. You see all this type of stuff. I have seen schools with like Star Wars phrases and stuff. Yeah, schools, educational systems, you know, and there a friend of mine, she told me that there was Star Wars something or another, and Subway's gone into it, Burger King's gone into it, and I think my sister even told me that there was Star Wars licensed makeup. What does makeup have to do with Star Wars at all? I mean, what were you a fan of Star Wars before? Why are you suddenly interested in Star Wars now? And that is going into why I'm talking about the bad side of all this stuff being popular, is because everyone is suddenly getting into it. Because before, no one was into this stuff before, like superheroes and stuff, comics and whatnot. And all of a sudden, now everyone wants to suddenly be a part, jump on the bandwagon. I mean, yeah, that's fine. People might who were never into, who are even aware of this stuff. Like anime, video games, comics and stuff, or probably weren't fans. Probably fans of stuff now. Like for example, I never was a fan of Green Lantern. It wasn't until I actually read. Well, no, it wasn't until Injustice, Gods Among Us came out, and I saw like his abilities and stuff, that I actually read the New 52 comic series, starting with how, he's going with Sinestro to battle the I forget what the name of the arc was, but that's how it started for me, and I became a Green Lantern fan. Yeah, that's cool. But like if you're just getting into it because it's popular, uh, then yeah, I don't like that at all. I mean, the same thing also applies to uh, gaming, because suddenly, like mobile gaming and free-to-play gaming is killing the industry because it's accessible to everyone and everyone can be getting into this and stuff, and people have phones, smartphones now, and that is also it's irritating because people are like saying it. I mean, technically, if you think about it, to call yourself a gamer means that you are a person who plays games. By that logic, you can play Candy Crush and be a gamer. I do not buy into that one bit. I'm not saying you have to play some sort of play AAA games all the time. What I'm saying is you should be, uh, adept at some games. I'm not saying be great. I'm just saying, play some games. Even if you like are horrible at that. I'm not trying to make fun of anyone, but you know, uh, just play different variety of games and stuff. I mean, yeah, so like, I've pretty much played every genre there is. I may not like every type of genre, but I've pretty much played every type of genre there is to play. Um, and I'm not saying you have to prefer this type of genre over this type of genre, or you have to play on this console or this system, or you have to play on a PC, or you have to play handhelds. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying to be a gamer is just more than Clash of Clans, which I am very sick of tired seeing these ads on YouTube. Just seeing Clash of Clans, rah, and stuff, and then seeing, this other thing with Arnold Schwarzenegger and like tanks and stuff. That just irritates me, I'll be honest. I don't like that at all. So yeah, again, that's also part of like stuff being popular, which, people like me when I was younger, we love this stuff, and then everyone else is coming in and saying like, hey, this is some cool stuff, let's get in on this too, hey, and we're like, no, I don't think so. Uh, but yeah, that's why I am, why I love the fact that all this stuff is gaining popularity, but at the same time, it just irritates me to a very high level of ugh. But yeah, that's just what I am thinking in my mind. I really felt like there was something else I was going to add, but yeah, that's it. So everyone, have a happy new year. I really hope that I can finish the Bionicle storyline, which, no, I stopped doing last January, and hopefully I can finish it in this year instead of postponing it to another year. Uh, yeah. Again, I have another um, special song. Well, it's not a song, but another special piece that I have coming up, and it should be coming out soon. So until then, everyone, Happy New Year. I am Xeracon, signing off.